Last time we turbocharged the Honda Civic 8th Gen, we bent #1 cylinder rod. And now we're doing a version 2 turbo rebuild. In version 2 of this rebuild, we plan to do a little bit more work, make the system more efficient, and hopefully we get a lot of miles out of this version 2 turbo kit. So stay tuned and let's go. As you will see from these following clips, some of the video footage is from the original turbo build because I want to show you the process of the turbo and what it takes to do it. The second time that I'm doing this, I'm just going to show you the additional steps that I'm taking for the rebuild. So you're going to get a blend of both videos from version 1 and the current version 2. So enjoy. So after mocking it up, I guess the best spot to weld this bung is still right over here, as high as you can. I'm going to reinsert the bung there. I'm just going to tap this hole a little bit bigger again. Not bigger, but you guys will see what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my tap it in. So I want the actual, hold on, I'm going to show you guys actually. We just got to tap it to make it a little bigger. That way this isn't sticking out as much from the oil pan. And hopefully this goes in a little bit further. Alright guys, so pretty much completed the assembly here. I am currently reusing all gaskets and I didn't tighten everything. This is just a mock-up to see how everything will be looking. But this is pretty much the bread and butter here of the turbo kit. First things first, again, we ported the whole turbo manifold here. We ported the turbo. We ported pretty much everything that needs porting to make it work efficiently. The turbo will spin. Again, we're going to be running it with a oil restrictor. The next setup, I did put a new turbine seal in here with this is the 5 PSI wastegate with the bracket that has been modified in order to fit this properly. As you guys can see, we got the new pipe here, the bigger pipe right over here. We do have a mass airflow flange adapter here. that's weldable and it is contoured to the pipe. However, it seems like this one was meant for a 3-inch pipe, so the fit up is pretty good, but the sides, there's a lot of gap there. So being a new welder, this is going to be extremely hard for me to weld, but we're going to try our best. And again, we got the beveled blow-off valve flange already that we will adjust accordingly. Once we get this in the vehicle, we're going to do a mock-up of the fitment, and we're going to figure out exactly what the best place is for the blow-off valve, for the mass airflow sensor. And already this is looking a lot cleaner just having it this way compared to running that silicone coupler looking like charge pipe. Much better, much more professional, and that turbo's ready to go with its new setup. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be doing is mocking up the turbo pretty much on the vehicle here. This is just a rough draft just so we can make sure our intercooler piping is all going to fit. We are making some changes to the intercooler piping. Alright, we got the turbo mocked up here. We're going to be mounting the intercooler right now, and then we're going to first tackle the charge pipe going from turbo to the intercooler inlet. And right now our intercooler piping has a coupler in it, and it's 2-piece. We want to make sure we weld it together as a 1-piece, and then we're going to heat wrap it just so we get cooling optimization for version 2 here. So we got the intercooler here, max speeding rods intercooler, small core, but for low boost applications, this core is pretty good. Let me just get the meter here and check how thick this core is. All right, so this core is pretty much 2 1/4, just about. So not the biggest core, but again, for low boost, it will do the job just fine. So I already mounted brackets on here from version 1 that we will use. They're pretty efficient. Goes there and sits there. I think it's pretty efficient. Better than cutting off the crash bar in case you need it. Can't get it in the hole. There it is. Now one side on. Intercooler's mocked up, nice and sturdy. As you can see from just holding from the top, this thing ain't really going anywhere. Let's route that intercooler piping right now. Ah, the old pile of parts. So yeah, this is the 2-inch pipe that we're gonna try to weld right over here. So is this the part? No, this is not the part. This is the pipe that we're gonna try to weld over here. As you can see, we got a coupler here, and this coupler is right by the down pipe. And I'm not a fan of the coupler, and I want to heat wrap this with gold reflective tape. So if I'm able to weld it, make it more secure, run less couplers to minimize boost leaks, that will definitely be my cup of tea. And we are sticking with the 2-inch pipe for the turbo inlet from the turbo just because of clearancing issues. We definitely do not have a lot of clearance around this side. If you can come in and see, I mean, it is really tight over here. We cut actually some of the frame on version 1 in order to have that pipe bend freely, because otherwise everything would get crimped over here. So we're still keeping the AC, so everything is tight, and we're gonna make it work. And let's go. So as you can see how much clearance we gained by cutting out that little piece. Before, if this whole frame was here, this had an extreme angle on it, and it was definitely restricting airflow from the intercooler. So now, nice smooth bend, no interference. And let's put the second piece of that pipe to the turbo outlet there. So this is one of the pipes. As you can see, it has an angle on it, and I can't align it with the other charge pipe. It won't fit in my bandsaw. I don't want to use a cutoff wheel, so we're just gonna massage it in and change the angle here, and hopefully it fits a little bit better. Alright guys, under the vehicle, pipe coming from the turbo, this is where we're going to weld it. It actually aligns quite good right over here, so we're going to weld that in. Clearance issue right over here between the fan, possibly. We can kind of notch some of that fan off, but that's a pretty good fit up here, so I'm happy with it. I'm probably going to go ahead and tack it on here. Mark the location with a scribe where I need to weld these two pipes. The fit up is pretty good, as you can see, all around for the most part. Let's just hope that aluminum welding videos I watched the last 6 hours are pretty good. But we'll clean this off. We'll acetone it. Let me do this real quick. Clean out the inside edge. Nice and clean finishes here. So we'll acetone it up and let's tack it up. Let's tack it up, boys. And the secret ingredient to all this, my prime weld. This is the prime weld 225 AC/DC compatible. Now, I've practiced some TIG welding on AC previously. Let me show you a couple examples here. This was probably like 6 months ago. I tried to run some beads, and this is kind of what I was working with. But since then, I definitely forgot everything about welding AC. So hopefully the 6 hours of video I watched yesterday on AC TIGging will come in handy. All right, guys, we're mocked up. We're gonna run this AC about 110 to 20, frequency about 30, AC balance 50 amps right now. Got this mocked up, cleaned up, and it should be good to go. We're just gonna tack weld it in 2 places, see how it comes out. Hopefully no burn throughs, and then we'll do a test pass, fit it up, and if it fits, we'll weld the whole thing up. Let's go. Whoa. I didn't like that. No. I didn't like that. And I felt like something was shocking me here. Electricity was shocking me. So I ended up switching to a number 5 cup. I forgot about running a number 5 with aluminum, and yeah, I think the argon coverage made it a little better. So I ran a couple beads here, as you can see. Little crown on them, but it just was a little smoother for me, and it looked good. So then finally I was able to tack it on in a few spaces. There's a little gap in between some of them, but it's there. It's tight. So we're gonna mock this up onto the car right now, test fit it with the couplers, and if it fits really good, then we'll finish welding everything and we'll be good on that side of the intercooler piping. From the turbo to the intercooler, that will be all taken care of. And then we're gonna start mounting everything with the charge pipe post intercooler here. And again, the plan is to run 2.5 inch on the charge side over here for a couple of reasons. One reason is my mass airflow sensor in the current pipe that's it mounted to right over here. This is like almost like a factory pipe, maybe 2.25 size inch pipe, and it's maxing out my voltage range from the mass airflow sensor. So when we're beating on it, or when it gets colder, 7 pounds of boost pretty much will trigger a check engine and cause it to go into a limp mode. So by putting in a mass airflow sensor in a bigger pipe, it won't exhaust the voltage on the intercooler as much, and that's one of the things that is just benefiting everything in version 2. All right, one thing we kind of overlooked is if the pipe's gonna fit as one piece or not. So snaked in very nice. So far so good. As you can see, the pipe is sitting perfectly. It's not touching anything, so I'm pretty much happy with it. A little bit close towards the bottom here, but we can protect it with something. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's go weld it. I keep touching the tungsten in the filler. As you can see, the pipe is fully welded. Yeah, not uniform, had a couple restarts obviously, but I didn't burn through and I'm pretty happy with the results here. I'm just brushing with just a Scotch-Brite pad here, getting it, like giving it the anodized look. And once I clean that up, I'm actually gonna show you guys how you can run beads on your charge pipe for the low. If you don't have a bead roller or anything, Harbor Freight, you get these pliers, crimp pliers, and I'm gonna show you guys how to crimp this so under boost your pipes don't fall out, because it happened to me a few times actually on version 1, and we don't want that to happen. Alright, the key is to warm up that aluminum, and then we're going to take these crimp pliers, and this is how we're going to go. It's just one squeeze, and you can see that edge that already formed right there. And we're just going to keep going as it's warm around the entire parameter of the pipe. I mean, it really doesn't get easier than that. You can really see it from an edge here. If you can look at it, that's gonna work just perfect. Nice little lip.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya. Kid from California, trying to make it in life. In school they never taught ya. Dreams of my own, I've been working from home. I can do it on my own, but sometimes